What's going on, everyone, and welcome into Expected Bets, for your go-to podcast for all things hockey betting. Team previews continue to roll out here. Third team in the Pacific Division, we got the Edmonton Oilers. This should be a fun one. This one could get very contentious really quick. Betsky, let's just hop into it right off the start here. Back-to-back Stanley Cup losses for this team. Where do you go from here? Do they have a third run in them? We'll start with that.
I absolutely think they do. I mean, this team's always going to look mediocre on paper because of the depth, because of the contracts that have to go to McDavid and Draisaitl. It's just part of what happens here. But when you have players of that caliber on the same team, you just can't rule it out. I mean, we've seen it 2 years in a row now where I don't think anyone had them going to the finals last year, very early in. Actually, I had them to win the last summer. But I think when you look at it on paper, and especially now, I think there's a little bit of stink on them because they made the finals and lost to the same team twice. But we're talking about a team that is largely being considered a new dynasty in the league, kind of the best team we've seen since maybe the Chicago Blackhawks in the mid-2000s. I'm just going to say it. I think Edmonton is arguably, you can't say it's a dynasty because they haven't won yet, but they have been a very competitive team for at least half a decade now, right?
Yep.
And I don't see that changing. I think they have just as good of a chance to make it back to the Cup Finals as anyone else in the West.
I mean, there is some issues with this team too.
There's always been issues with this team.
You have two players that can mask the issues, and it's
that's very true.
2 seasons ago, how many points did they have going into like Thanksgiving break? It was like they had won 5 games or something crazy like that, and then they made the playoffs. They were the second to worst team in the league and made it to the Stanley Cup Finals.
I mean, look at some of the goaltenders they've had over those years too. It's just
look at the goaltenders they have.
Jack Campbell.
Don't disrespect Mike Smith.
I mean, we can just talk about it too. Draisaitl gets his extension. McDavid is just sitting there. That is kind of the big question right now in Edmonton. I'm sure Oilers fans wake up and just hope to see that ticker on TSN say something along the positive lines of McDavid extension. Franco, I mean, this team could be completely different next year. We're just talking about worst case scenario. Could be a disaster in Edmonton.
I mean, can you imagine if McDavid walks? What do you do? I don't know. I don't know what they can do at this point, because I mean, when it really comes down to it, he almost holds all the cards, right? Like it's his decision.
Yeah. You can't trade him.
Yeah, and even if you do
for a team,
what's the value of a player like that, especially once everybody knows he wants out? Like, how do you do that silently? You know, say, "Oh, hey, we'll give you Connor McDavid.
Yeah.
Give us a haul.
We're shopping McDavid. Yeah, that'll stay quiet.
Yeah. That's not staying quiet. So, I mean, it's a really bad situation for Edmonton.
They have to be good.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like this could be the last run if that is the case, right? So, I don't know. I hope for Edmonton fans that the ownership group is doing everything in its power. I'm sure they are doing everything in their power to get it done and make sure they sign him long term. But man, that would be devastating. I don't even know what to say. When was the last time something like this has happened?
I don't know, and I mean this like across NBA. Football is a little different. So I would say NHL and NBA are the most star-reliant sports, even though the NHL is very much a team game too. But a star player, which one?
LeBron goes to the Heat.
But he,
that's probably the closest.
Yeah, but
thing,
they were
honestly.
never good with him.
Yeah, but he kind of carried that Cleveland team though for like a few years,
and then pretty much
went somewhere else, and then built a super
the
team.
Finals though, right?
I think they went to the finals though. Didn't the Cavs go to the finals at least 1 year?
I believe. I don't.
Yeah.
know. My NBA.
I don't know anything about the NBA. Don't listen to me.
I'm not.
That was our NBA talk for the year.
There you go.
But I
I mean, is it like Gretzky leaving Edmonton?
No, because he won cups.
Yeah, they already did it, so it's kind of like, hey,
So yeah, it is LeBron. He didn't win a cup in Cleveland, took him to the finals, and then he went somewhere else to the Heat and won, I think, 2 or 3 championships there. Yeah, that's the only comparison I can think of.
Plus 900 to win the cup. I'm not going to take it for Edmonton.
Yeah, I mean, it could be this. It
feels like destiny.
It could be the last dance with this team. Speaking of kind of roster changes here, we'll just get into it. Mangiapane, Lazar, Howard, Savoy is going to kind of be a permanent member of this team this year too. I think this is the first year you look at kind of these winger situations here. I like Savoy. I like Howard. They got rid of Perry, Kane, Arvidsson, Skinner, Brown, Klingberg. I kind of like this injection of youth into this roster.
I like Frederick on this roster a whole lot. I gave him a massive contract, but you need a player like that.
Yeah,
this forward group night and day compared to last season. You have young, skilled forwards and Savoy and Howard who could really blow up if they can play it a halfway decent two-way game and be able to stick on a line with McDavid or Draisaitl. I think this forward group mix is the best they've had, maybe in the McDavid era.
Yeah, I guess, Franco, the only question mark here then too is Skinner, Picard. What happens if this experiment kind of fails again and one of them doesn't end up just showing up?
I mean, how much were people saying that Skinner was the guy, going into the cup? It was, everybody was talking about how good he was, and then everybody's off him now. It's, we keep saying goalies are voodoo. So I think he's a capable starting goaltender in this league. He falls in the range of those 15 to 20 other ones. He'll steal you games here and there. He'll look absolutely terrible at stretches of the season, and everybody wants him out of town, and then he is just pretty serviceable throughout the rest of the season. So really, I mean, it's one of those things where you just need him to be competent and maybe catch a little bit of fire in the playoffs, and the blue line needs to be good in front of them. I mean, they have the pieces there. I know that 6th defenseman role has been like kind of interchangeable the last couple playoffs, so we'll see what they do there with Emerson being in there right now. But I feel like the rest of that blue line looks pretty good still. I know that there's a lot of discourse towards Nurse and all that fun stuff, but top to bottom looks good. I think this team does look pretty damn good again this year, and I don't see any reason why they can't compete once again in the West.
Yeah, getting into their team betting preview here, Betsky, their season points total 103.5 on DraftKings, 106.5 on FanDuel. Looking at their points total from the last 4 years, let's go 101, 104, 109, 104. Again, with the division winner at plus 170, plus 175. This is another interesting team here, too, that it's oddly enough, I'd rather take them to win the conference or the Stanley Cup than to hit their season points total or to win the division.
Me too. That's exactly how I would take it. I would rather sprinkle them to win the conference and sprinkle them to win the cup than point totals or division totals. It does not matter if they finish top of the division, because they have proven time and time again that they can roll through anyone in the West. I mean, it just doesn't matter if they play the Kings in round one. That doesn't need to be their momentum builder year after year. I mean, if they were to have to face Vegas in round one, or God forbid they in a wild card spot and have to take Dallas on, I have no problem with them winning in the 7-game series against anyone in the West.
Yeah.
Will they do it? I mean, who knows? But I don't like betting against McDavid in 7 games.
No, agree completely here too. And this is their 3rd run with the amount of time and short off seasons with McDavid and Draisaitl. You have to think that wear and tear is going to come into play at some point. And this team has even proven it last year after they made a run, that the regular season is not their end goal with this team. So Franco, you kind of in agreement with that one of taking more of their Western Conference winner and Stanley Cup winner at plus 450, them to win the West is, I don't think, a terrible bet to take right now at all.
It feels good. It's a good number. I mean, we can also grab it live in season. You know, if they go on a cold spell or look bad for a little stretch, this is the type of team that you want to absolutely grab some futures on in season if they do have a bad spell, because we know that McDavid and Draisaitl are going to turn around eventually if that does happen. So, keep that in mind as the season goes on as well.
The other thing is, I think this is a team that will be very aggressive at the trade deadline.
Yes. This is a push your chips in the middle.
Yep, especially if McDavid's not signed. I think this is a team that you can expect to upgrade. They have some expiring contracts: Ekholm, Wallman, Kulik, all on the blue line expiring. Obviously McDavid, but even guys like Adam Henrique. So they can load up a little bit at the deadline, maybe overspend a little bit because they know that is coming off the books next year.
Yep. And I mean, the new salary cap comes into play this year too in the playoffs. Yes. So they do have to be kind of careful if anyone is on long-term IR with that. Getting into
imagine if Nurse is on long-term IR.
Yeah. Vegas gets away with it. Yeah, that would be, I'm sure Edmonton fans would have nothing to say about that, but good things.
1 year.
Any player futures, any kind of awards that we're looking at here? I mean, McDavid for the Art Ross is always kind of a good bet here. For the Hart could be interesting as well. He's at 2-1 at that one. Vesna, no.
Essentially, if you are betting an Art Ross or Hart award prop that's not named McDavid, you are hedging against McDavid losing it.
Yeah. I mean, he won the Art Ross 2022, 2023, 2021, 2022. He's won it 5 times. So, yeah. Where the awards get interesting here, Franco, is Isaac Howard at 16-1 and Matthew Savoy at 35-1 for the Calder. Might be a hot take here. Savoy's penciled in on that second line right now with Draisaitl, and he's on that power play unit as well. He's not on the first power play unit. That one remains the same from last year. But based on these lines, he seems like a better value at 35-1 than Howard does at 16-1.
But do the books know that Howard's going to move up? I mean, this has been the team. How many different wingers have we seen play with McDavid over the last 2 years? Not even going 5 years, last 2 years. They've shuffled and shuffled and shuffled. If I had a crystal ball and I could tell who was going to be the guy that would get the most games with McDavid, that would be the one I would take. But unfortunately, I don't know that. Obviously, we have daily faceoff lines right now, which is, in September. That could change through camp and all that fun stuff. So I don't mind sprinkling both of them because I think both will be given chances with McDavid. And I think that's the king. That's the key,
And does it matter? I mean, if Howard ends up being on the second line with Draisaitl, he may actually put up more points than Savoy because he has easier competition. As long as they split these two up and split up Draisaitl and McDavid, which seemingly is the intention here with bringing in 2 rookies, I think both are worth betting. And I think you're crazy not to have a sprinkling, at least a ticket on one of them, if not both.
Especially it's 16-1 and 35-1.
It's insane.
Yes.
Yeah.
Crazy prices, and you're playing with 2 absolute bona fide stud players. So whether they move up and down, it doesn't matter. As long as they're staying in the top 2, we're good. Yep. I'm feeling good about it.
Yep.
Now, we've seen this happen before where the rookies fall out of these spots. I think last year I forgot even who it was.
Rucker McGrody was one.
There you go.
Was on the top line with Crosby and Camp. So, again,
but it's a different intention this year.
And it's a different type of team. You cannot. Are we really going to have Mangiapane on the top line with McDavid all season? I seriously doubt that's going to happen. And if he does stay, is Podkolzin and Frederick going to be the wingers, or with Draisaitl? At least one of them is going to be in the top 2 for the majority of the season. And I don't see why you don't run both.
I also think this is a show McDavid you can bring in young talent on ELC contracts, entry-level contracts, to show that you can get flexible with the cap in order to make this team better long term for while he's still in his prime. If you have these two rookies getting benched or put down on lines, what's that say to the vets on this team that want to win a cup? Like, your management can't bring in young, cheap talent, is what it says. So what are you going? You're going to be cap strapped forever.
Yeah,
they almost need these guys to turn into 60+ point players.
Yeah, I completely agree. Another bet that I really like this year is McDavid regular season goals. On FanDuel, it's at 33.5. I think that's incredibly low this season. I even like him at 40 at 2-1. Interview September 5th. He was asked about his assertiveness and what that means. He said assertiveness is shooting the puck and being more decisive with decisions. I look back on scoring 50 or 60, and it was a lot more shooting, a little more assertive and aggressive around the net, and something I can get back to. Last season, he only had 196 shots on goal, which is the fewest since his rookie season when he had 105 in 45 games. He also had 26 goals last year, the fewest since his rookie year. 33.5, 40 plus. I love both those bets this year. I think this is a big year, that contract year too. Got to pencil that in. Maybe, maybe he's not getting
Sorry,
it.
I just saw something.
Maybe he's playing for a contract this year. Yeah.
McDavid for the Rocket plus 2,200. Are you kidding me? He won it 3 years ago. That's 64 goals in 22-23. And he's talking about shooting more?
Yeah, and that price is ridiculous.
I'm salivating.
I love that.
Ridiculous.
Let me lock it in.
Yeah, that's another fun bet this year. Any other kind of props with this team? I feel like we could go on for hours with this team of diving into everyone, but the McDavid goals prop, the Savoy and Howard Calder, I think those are kind of the top three that you look at that really just kind of jump out immediately when looking at this team for some futures.
Absolutely.
I would agree.
I like all of them.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a team that is going to be very reliable to bet game in, game out. These are some of the superstar players that get elevated point and shot props with McDavid and Draisaitl bouncing around 2.5, 3.5, and pretty much are always locked in at 1.5 points. Lots of flexibility throughout the season to bet on this team. Use it for your advantage.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is, like, if McDavid starts the season as a 2.5, a bettable 2.5 shot prop line.
Yep.
I just, given what you just said, Gator, reading that quote, I mean, I think that's your first bet of the season is that. I don't see why you wouldn't bet a 2.5 if it's bettable in week one, or
Rocket
first week.
Goal prop 2.5 shots on goal in that exact order. That's how you start off the season for the Edmonton Oilers.
Yep.
Thanks everyone for tuning in to this episode of Expected Bets for the team previews. We'll continue to roll and we will talk to you guys next time. See ya.